Hi there, everybody. Mickey News. It's Craig Cobb, founder of TraderCobb.com, reporting for Mickey.com.au. And we've seen some movement since last week when we spoke to you, or since the last time I spoke to the audience, and it's been positive. Let's have a quick look here at the daily here on Bitcoin and work our way through. Of course, last time we spoke, we were somewhere in and around this area and just sort of meandering along, not doing a great deal. Now, of course, we have a higher low to a higher high here, and this is what we look at as being an uptrend. So with this higher low to higher high, we now have an internal daily uptrend on the bigger picture trend, which is, of course, this high set here. Now, I've spoken about it before, and I'll talk about it again. The fact that it's really important to get above this level. It's a milestone point, and there's another milestone point up here. Just to rejig your memory, the reason being is that we haven't seen a third high in a trend on the daily since back in the bull market of 2017. Now, of course, if we do get above this level, we will have a third higher high, therefore a second higher low. That's important for the reasons just stated. Of course, the next level is this one here. There we go. And it's because we'll have a higher low and a higher high if we break through that point. And again, we haven't seen an uptrend since we saw the 2017 bull market, not in the weekly anyway. So it is a level of importance to me and to, I'm sure, a lot of traders and holders out there in the marketplace, a level that I'm watching very, very carefully. Of course, we have held above 4,000 for the last few days, and in fact, even during the lows of the pullback yesterday, the low that we got to was 4,034. Now, of course, we haven't seen a great deal of movement since then, to be fair. And we just seem to be creeping and crawling along as we go. Moving averages are in the correct order, and everything else looks pretty good there on the charts. When I come down here to the 4 hour, there was a nice little cradle back here that I didn't take. It was on the weekend. I took the weekend off, away from the markets, other than a quick little have a look on Saturday, and it did move quite nicely. Of course, now the question is, what's it doing? Well, it pulled back in the cradle zone, bullish candle on the 8 hour. Not a trade that I took, but that's a little positive. I'd really love to see this push on to a new higher high, and again, just to continue that momentum to the upside and breathe a little bit more life into Bitcoin. Across the rest of the top 10, as you might imagine, very similar to that of Bitcoin. We did see Ethereum push to a new high here, not quite as strong as what we saw with Bitcoin, but nevertheless a new high. Moving average is not quite as fanned. As you'll note here, they're just apart, whereas on Bitcoin, they've been apart for quite some time and haven't touched for a little while. Not that touch is important to me, it's just that this cycle isn't quite as strong as that of what we see on Bitcoin. Coming across to EOS. EOS didn't have much of a week last week at all, and even when the big buying did come in across Bitcoin and Ethereum to push to new highs in the trend, EOS stumbled at that hurdle. Now, of course, the EOS trend has been established for quite some time with a really good strong move from that $2.20 mark or thereabouts all the way up to $4.40. It doubled in value over a short period of time. Stellar Lumen did have a good run last week, and again, based off the back of some news, we did see a good strong move on Lumens yesterday, Stellar that is. A pullback into this cradle zone. It's not really I think Bittrex you can trade it against $1, but I haven't been back in my Bittrex account for quite some time. Again though, as we can see here, that nice little drive up, pulling back into that cradle zone. Not one that I'm really that interested in at the moment. Just too many big candles and also a bit of divergence there on this 4 hour time frame. Happy to be leaving that alone. Ripple remains very sideways and not a chart that I'm interested in whatsoever. Litecoin is the next one, and the daily trend continues to tick along quite nicely. Honestly, I want to see it push on to new highs before I'm too interested on trading this in the daily. I like to see it when it's at a higher low, then it pushes on to a nice little higher high. Here, it looks like it might be losing a little bit of momentum, and that's not too out of the question, because here's the higher low, here's the higher high. It hasn't really had a proper weekly pullback for quite some time, so it wouldn't be of any surprise to see it pull back a little bit deeper, possibly even on the 2 day back into that $50 mark is probably something that's reasonable there. Of course, anything's reasonable in this market though. Bitcoin Cash has had a really good run, but it's not that interesting. Once again, I want to see the pullback in and see if that sets up for a little cradle. A nice slow pullback in would be ideal, and I'm just waiting patiently to see that. Of course, once again, if we look across here, it did pull back on that 4 hour time frame for a little candle in the cradle zone and a really good move from there. But right now, it's not one that I'm really that attentive to. We've got Binance again holding its ground. It's really starting to grind out. That's gone has the momentum, the strong momentum that we were seeing carried through on Binance. It is holding its ground up around the highs, which is great to see. I'm still waiting a little bit longer to see what the play will be next on Binance. But as you can see, when it has moved, it has pulled back in quite nicely. Tron is not the most pretty of charts at all. Even on this 4 hour, it's still quite thin in the volume. See all these gaps? I don't like those sorts of gaps. They bring additional risk. Cardano, I do like this chart. Very nice trend here. I pull back into this cradle zone with a little bullish candle, and that would be something very, very nice indeed. Again, patience is required. So for the most part, at the moment, it's good to be trading against Bitcoin in that alt market ground, looking to build your sats until we see these dailies really set up, until we see these dollar pairings really set up some good trades. But for the time being, it's nice to see some grinding out to upside for a change on Bitcoin. This is the key level for me. I hope it happens this week. I hope it happens at some point during the month of March. It would be really refreshing to see us break through some key levels. And I'm not suggesting we'll go into a bull run then, but it'd be nice to see, a little bit of blue sky up to that $5,000 mark. Anyway, guys, you have a fantastic day. And if you haven't already, jump across to tradercobb.com/free tools, where you can pick up free education from me, webinars, courses, the likes. All you got to do is go to tradercobb.com/free tools, and it's all there for you. Have a great day. Bye for now.